it is great to be here today for Families Matter, St. Lucie Public Schools Parenting Guide. We are excited to continue to serve as your hosts. My name is Rebecca Benton. I'm a life skills parent educator with Student Services.
Hi again. I'm DeJohn Jackson, Family and Community Outreach Administrator on special assignment for St. Lucie Public Schools. Every time I join you on the show, Rebecca, I get more and more excited. Welcome again, families.
One of the purposes of Families Matter, St. Lucie Public Schools Parenting Guide, is to give parents and families information about the resources found within our local community. The resources shared could be St. Lucie Public Schools employees, such as counselors or program specialists, any of the helpful web resources found on St. Lucie Public Schools website, or local community agencies that help your child achieve success. You play a pivotal role in the life of your child or children. Our aim is to support you. Today, we are going to discuss post-graduation preparation, getting families ready for a successful launch into life post-high school graduation, such as applying to college and for scholarships, and helping our high school seniors take those first few steps towards independence. We will also go over options beyond the college experience, such as career technical education or joining one of our armed forces.
You know, I think about it like it was yesterday, that college experience, the nerves, the jitters, and the excitement of one of those chapters getting ready to close and another one opening. And then the new beginning with the start of college, or maybe even a career. All of my emotions were bottled up and ready to go. Rebecca, do you remember getting ready to go to college or deciding your future, like deciding what colors that you wanted to wear? Like I'm rocking my USF colors, green and gold.
And I don't have orange, but I'm trying to, the Gators, orange and blue. I remember applying to college, being so stressed out about those applications, and I can probably tell you every detail of the day when I got accepted into the University of Florida. It was a very exciting time, and it's definitely shaped who I am today, and going to college is just one of some great memories, and has helped me become a great educator.
You know, back when I was getting ready to finish high school, I moved back home because I knew I needed to get a little more independence. I wasn't ready to go away to big city life. So I was fearful of what the big university had in store. Although I did apply and get accepted to a major university, I wasn't ready to leave my friends and family at home. So thankfully, I didn't have to look far. Back then, IRCC, Indian River Community College, was right in my backyard. And it offered programs that I was always interested in. I always knew that I wanted to work with kids, and I had an interest in psychology, so I checked these things out. That was an awesome experience. I enrolled in a few classes, met my college advisor, and then got ready to start my way with a brand new day.
Absolutely. If helping your child with these next steps is something your family is needing support with, you are in luck, because we have some experts joining us today to help families get ready for making the next choice after high school. Joining us today are Miss Nikki Poole and Miss Alicia Seitz. Nikki Poole is the coordinator of secondary guidance and advisement within St. Lucie Public Schools, and Alicia Seitz is the director of career technical education, or CTE. We want to pick their brains and see what advice they would give senior high school students for staying on track for graduation, a timeline for applying for college and scholarships, and all those important tools for taking the next steps for college and career readiness. Hello, Nikki and Alicia. We are so happy to have you today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Sure. Hello, my name's Alicia Seitz. I'm the Director for Career Technical Education here for St. Lucie Public Schools. I'm a proud graduate of St. Lucie West Centennial, and much like you, DeJohn, I was not ready to go away to a big university. So I attended Indian River State College, which was Indian River Community College at the time, where I obtained my Associates of Arts degree, and then I actually obtained an Associates of Science degree in respiratory therapy. And so I worked local for a while, and then I attended University of Central Florida for my bachelor's degree in cardiopulmonary science. And so it was nice to be able to work local and just kind of figure things out. I was able to accomplish a lot. And so I've been with St. Lucie Public Schools now for 17 years. My heart also was, I knew I wanted to work in the medical field, also in education. And so it was wonderful back in 2007 when I was afforded the opportunity to come in and teach and help build the medical program at Treasure Coast High School.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So it's been wonderful, and I've had a lot of growth myself. And being in St. Lucie County for so long and St. Lucie Public Schools, I've been able to grow into, I obtained my master's degree from American College of Education, became a dean at one of our K-8 schools, worked as a program specialist, and now I'm able to work as the director for career technical education. And so I think it's great with that experience I'm able to bring to the students. It's kind of nice to know that students are able to get their education here, they're able to work here and to be successful.
Absolutely. And Nikki, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Nikki Poole, and I am the coordinator for secondary guidance and advisement. I work with and support schools, middle school and high school counselors, as well as graduation coaches and school administrators with understanding updates to graduation requirements, to curricular choices in their master schedule. The list goes on. I too started at a community type of college in Broward. I was born in Broward and went to Broward Community College. I was not ready to leave, and then I finally was. After the 2 years, I earned my associates and was ready to get out of there. I went to UCF.
Yeah, we love you, black and gold. You look great.
Alicia and I, yes, we didn't know each other because I'm older, but more beautiful, of course. I went to UCF for my undergraduate, and then Florida Atlantic University for my graduate degrees. And so now I work with school counselors. I was a school counselor, I was a school administrator, and now I support at the district.
That's awesome. So Nikki and Alicia, high school senior students getting ready for graduation have so many things to accomplish before they actually walk across the stage and receive their high school diploma. Nikki, what should high school senior students be aware of and do in their last year before graduation?
So we suggest that seniors start that process as early as they can. Even if they were able to go on like a college tour at some point in their high school life. There are families that even start that in 8th grade if you wanted to. There's really no early time. Colleges and universities have a certain number of spots to apply to get. So the earlier the student applies, the better chances there are to get one of those spots. Throughout the year, the spots, are taken. Another good reason to apply early is so that if for some reason they do not get into a college, they can move on to their Plan B.
So what are some timelines that our seniors should adhere to when we're applying to those college and universities?
So each university, college and university, they have their own deadline application. So it's really important to start that process as early as they can, because if you had your top schools, like for me, I knew I only wanted to go to UCF, so then I focused on their website, their information, when is their deadline, and just making sure that you meet it. The college applications open as early as November 1st, and those colleges start accepting then. So the sooner the student can apply, the better.
Absolutely. Alicia, our district has a strong CTE, or Career and Technical Education department, where students can graduate from our high schools with certifications in many areas. Can you give some examples of some of these programs?
Sure, I can absolutely. So just to kind of elaborate on career technical education, we work with our local community and our local workforce, and we've actually, prior to businesses coming into the community, we meet with them. And so that's a huge part of my role, is the implementation of programs, career technical education programs that will benefit our workforce. And as we know, we typically, students might not have that definitive track, So we are actually starting to, which we've done over the years, students are starting to find out what their interests are for, we want them to be successful, whether it be college and or career ready. And so as soon as middle school students are doing exploration, they're really looking into the areas that they are interested in. And so going back to the implementation of our programs, it's not just driven by the student interest, but what the local workforce needs are. And so to also ensure that we are implementing programs providing students with that skill set so they're ready and they're successful. So we have varying programs at all of our local high schools, the 6 comprehensive high schools, and then even our students at alternative sites, they have options as well. And so we have medical, criminal justice, we have global logistics, engineering, manufacturing, skilled trades, which automotive falls underneath there, and just a wide array. And so those students are earning industry certifications. Medical is one of our most popular programs, and students are earning their certified nursing assistant. They're also getting their EKG technician. In the automotive realm, they are earning industry recognized automotive ASC certifications. Global logistics, manufacturing, doing production technology. We also have aviation. So there is a wide array of programs that we have. We actually have 36 programs, and then we have 58 academies to where all of our high schools, have medical or whatever it may be. So there's something for every student to meet their interests.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. So, Nikki, what are other options do high school seniors have if they want to apply to the military, if college is not for them?
Sure, so they can see their school counselor. There's also usually a recruiter that goes and is assigned to each high school, not assigned, but they choose to go there just for students such as you're asking about. And basically the process is that the student goes and takes the ASVAB first. The ASVAB just helps align them with an area to study and also an area that they already excel in. And the armed services requires a certain score on that in order to get in. But typically everyone who wants to apply for such can get into that. Also, there are military universities. So for a student who doesn't necessarily want to enlist immediately, they could apply to get into one of the military universities. They are very competitive to get into, so definitely look into that sooner than later. Some examples of those are the Naval Academy in Maryland, as well as the Military Academy in West Point.
Alrighty. Alicia, I know you talked a lot about the industry certifications. What are the next steps? And we just have a few minutes for that. So what are the next steps if a senior wants to explore that field?
So yes, definitely. If a student has gone through our program, definitely reach out to their instructor, their guidance counselor, even their leadership team on campus. There are tons of opportunities that are out there, and we have our website as well that you can go to, and the students can just, it's very thorough, very comprehensive. There's apprenticeship opportunities on there, there's local jobs, and there's a ton of different opportunities for them to have.
Ladies, do you have any tips for high school seniors as they're about to launch into the world?
Definitely go see your school counselor as soon as possible. It is the most free and informative thing that you can do.
I strongly advise the school counselor, your teachers, any resource, reach out to us here at the district. Our information is on the Career Technical Education website. And again, our local Economic Development Council, they also have a comprehensive website for jobs looking. We have a lot of connections with our post-secondary institutions, so students can stay here, as you mentioned, and attend our local college and work, really be successful.
Well, thank you, ladies, so
Yes,
much
thank
for
you.
sharing all of these tips for our families. It's never too early to start on that path, so we thank you for your expertise.
Yes,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much
You're
for
welcome.
being
Thank
here.
you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
We are St. Lucie Public Schools. We are accoladed. recognized, accredited, merited. We are innovators, builders, career-driven, future-forward leaders. We are community-focused, partners, mentors, contributors. We are historic, unique, extraordinary, admired. We are champions, energetic, competitive, game changers. We are artists, dancers, designers, musicians. We are diverse, inclusive, collaborative, empowering. We are caregivers, protectors, supportive, attentive. Today's learners, tomorrow's leaders. We are St. Lucie Public Schools.
We want to introduce our next guest as we focus on HBCUs, HSIs, and financial aid scholarships that support our high school seniors as they prepare for life post-graduation. We are joined by experts Dr. Kevin Perry and Kaylee Nemo, two very connected individuals within our community. Welcome to you both. Dr. Perry, I know that you are a gentleman and a scholar, so I'm going to ask Kaylee to introduce herself first and just tell us a little bit about you and your role within St. Lucie Public Schools.
Sure. My name is Kaylee Nemo. I am in my second year as the District College and Career Advisor. But before that, I served 9 years as St. Lucie Public Schools high school counselor. And with my role, I am here to provide resources to students, families, counselors, educators on college and career related topics. I usually try to go to schools weekly to assist with that, and some of the ways that, avenues that I use to connect with those individuals are through one-on-one meetings, small groups, assemblies, evening workshops, so on and so forth, just trying to educate our parents and students earlier on college and career.
Well, thank you, and thank you for joining us today.
No problem.
Thank you.
Dr. Perry, please share your esteemed college that you graduated from, one of many, and I want to hear just a little bit about you.
Good morning. It is a pleasure to be with you today. I am a proud graduate of Bethune-Cookman College, which became Bethune-Cookman University on February the 14th, 2007, and of course a graduate of the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, and like Kaylee, Florida Atlantic University. This is my 40th year as an educator, 35 of those years here in St. Lucie Public Schools. I am currently the assistant to the superintendent, where I help manage a lot of the professional and community relations for the district.
Thank you, Dr. Perry.
Yes.
Your expertise really will help all of our families.
Yes, thank you so much for being with us. So when I was in school, college was expensive, and that we don't need to talk about how long ago that was. So I can only imagine how expensive it is now. Kaylee, can you share some resources on how students can alleviate that financial stress?
Sure. Common question that we get from students, and there is no one-stop shop for financial aid or scholarships. There's so many resources out there. So students and parents should become familiar with some of the more reputable scholarship search engines like fastweb.com. Obviously, our Florida Bright Future Scholarship, our very own St. Lucie Education Foundation has scholarships, in addition to Google, spending some time Googling, and then as well as things like checking with the university they're going to be going to, because they may offer their own specific scholarships, and as well as, not as common anymore, but I still suggest that students reach out to their employer or their parents' employers to see if there's any tuition reimbursement or scholarship opportunities.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, and Kaylee, you had talked about those financial aspects. What other programs can students utilize that will help them get rid of some of the financial costs?
Sure. Every student who goes to college should fill out the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. It lets students and their families know which grants, loans, or work study that they're eligible for. We, try to possibly avoid taking out loans if possible, but sometimes loans are necessary. But if you get grants, take them. Grants are free money. And then also the CSS profile, it's through College Board. Not as many people know about that because it's usually for private institutions, but it's a financial aid application that students can complete to try to get institutional aid at some of the smaller or private schools that are around. They do have a list of the institutions they serve if a student needed to go on beforehand to check.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
No problem.
Do you have any tips for high school seniors when it comes to thinking about paying for tuition?
Well, you want to make yourself marketable, and that is for getting into a university as well as receiving scholarships. So starting early, building your resume by getting involved with extracurriculars, sports, having a job, being consistent, staying within those sports and extracurriculars, potentially getting leadership positions, and taking the time to look for scholarships. We do suggest, I always say the students should almost make it like a part-time job. They should go on weekly to look for scholarships.
That's some great advice.
Thank you.
Dr. Perry, you mentioned that there are monies available not just through those means that Kaylee had mentioned, but if a student was interested in an HBCU or an HSI, which we'll get into a little bit more, what are some of those? First, let's talk about the significance of an HBCU and an HSI. What is the significance?
Well, the purpose of HBCUs and HSIs, first of all, HBCUs were established out of segregation at a time when black students were prohibited from attending white-only institutions. They have a special place in American history for their enduring places of opportunity and empowerment. Originally founded before 1964 as written in the Education Act. And with HSIs, they have a very distinct designation as well because they are in serving institutions for Hispanic students, where 25% or more of those full-time equivalent students are of Hispanic background, located in 29 states, the District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico. So they both help different populations of students. One founded at a time when students could not attend institutions, but now to broaden and provide access for each and every student.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that.
So these college, universities, and institutions of higher learning sound wonderful. How can families and students get more information about HBCUs and HSIs?
Well, of course, Kaylee mentioned Google. Sometimes Google can be your best friend. But so that you can always do that background and research. And of course, with Kaylee being a counselor, she's going to tell you to make sure you stop by the counselor's office and have those conversations with your counselor. In addition to that, St. Lucie Public Schools does something very specific. We are in our 8th year of sponsoring the HBCU HSI College Fair, where we bring colleges to our campus, to our community. And we actually allow students a day out of school to come and spend about an hour and a half meeting with those representatives from those colleges. We provide information to them about the institutions prior to coming so that they can do some background and research there. Our college fair showcases HBCUs and HSIs. This year we have already, and we're just in midstream, about 18 that have already registered, and I think last year we capped out at 19. The date for us will be January the 25th at the Finn Center. And we provide opportunities for 80%, 80-20. Schools can bring about 150 students each, and 80% of those students need to be seniors, with 20% being juniors, because we're trying to start that idea of college opportunities as soon as we possibly can.
That's fabulous. Being proactive does never hurt anyone.
No. And on college and university campuses, there are support organizations that promote scholarship and service to our community. One of those service organizations is the Divine Nine. You hear the Divine Nine and you're like, what is the goal? What is the purpose? And I am familiar with, as you are, the Divine Nine. So can you tell our audience what that is?
The Divine Nine is actually the group of 9 fraternities and sororities, but they fall up under the umbrella organization known as the National Panhellenic Organization. So that's where they're all housed. The National Panhellenic Organization actually dates back to March 10th, 1930. And The idea of the National Panhandle, as we call it, Panhandle, is to foster cooperative actions of its member organizations dealing with mutual interests and to promote the well-being of those fraternities and those sororities. So that's where you would find that the Divine Nine, of course, it started with my dear old Alpha Phi Alpha, which is the oldest of the Divine Nine, started in 1906 on the campus of Cornell University, Ithaca,
Yes.
New York, December 4th. Yes, we just celebrated 117
Yes,
years.
yes,
And
yes.
the newest member was started in 1963. So that gives you those 5 fraternities and 4 sororities that make up the National Panhellenic, better known to us as the Divine Nine.
Yes, thank you for sharing that.
Well, families, we have touched on so many resources for students to prepare them for life post-graduation, including graduation requirements, college applications, CTE, military options, financial aid, HBCUs, and HSIs.
Today's show was focused on post-high school graduation preparation. Our next show will focus on the beginning of your child's education, VPK, and kindergarten readiness. If you have missed any of our shows, please head to WLX Horizons to watch it, catch up, feel connected. Check out St. Lucie Public Schools social media outlets for our next showtime and upcoming show broadcast. We thank you all so much for sharing your expertise, and we look forward to seeing you in and about the community.
Yes, thanks again for joining us today. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having us.
Remember, all families matter in St. Lucie Public Schools.